This picture shows the Crown Prince Frederick and his favorite sister Wilhelmine back in 1716. His father, Frederick William I, known as the Soldier King, was extremely strict and raised his son in a military tradition. The Crown Prince was interested in the fine arts, and this led to many confrontations between father and son. His son playing the drum pleased the father. The charity of the little prince. His mother had supported a sense of charity in her son. As a little boy one day, while traveling with his parents, Frederick emptied his piggy bank, went to a local bakery and purchased baked goods, which he then distributed to children and needy people. His parents approved of his action and contributed additional funds. Frederick continued his mission for many more years. When Frederick reached the age of 7, his education was turned over to officers. And here in this picture we can see Frederick and his younger brother Henry are ordered to appear in the private club of his father to be exposed to their rough demeanor. As Frederick grew older, his true love for the fine arts became more and more obvious. And in this picture we see Frederick out of uniform with his favorite teacher Quantz playing the flute. And when his best friend Lieutenant von Cutter burst into the room to warn Frederick that his father was coming. Frederick had just enough time to change into his uniform while Quantz and Cutter hid in the closet. Frederick's father stormed into the room and searched it. He found books and improper attire which he immediately burned in a fireplace. It turned out father and son just didn't get along at all. And when it turned out that young Frederick had incurred debts and had behaved in a manner that the king did not appreciate, he was physically punished. He'd had enough, and with the help of his friend von Cutter, he managed to escape. The correspondence of the two fell into the hands of the king. The colonel was ordered to bring the prince back, dead or alive, and when he was found, he was imprisoned. He was treated like the lowest criminal. Frederick's friend von Cutter was captured in Berlin. The king was ready to have his son executed, and only when General von Buddenbrock opened his vest and suggested to the king that if he absolutely needed a victim, he should shoot him, the king finally relented, but ordered that Frederick's friend Cutter was to be beheaded, with Frederick watching the execution. Cutter's last words were, "To die for such a sweet prince is an honor." A pastor befriended the crown prince and managed to get him to understand the importance of his future life. The prince had to promise to the king that he would be obeying his father without compromise. Now Frederick was released from prison and ordered to study agriculture. Frederick seemed changed, and he became serious about his position, and he and his father were able to accept the situation. Young Frederick enjoyed his time in Rheinsberg and Neuruppin. He surrounded himself with cultured people, gave concerts, played his flute, and composed music, but he also developed a liking for the military life. He was married to a German princess. On May the 31st, 1740, the king died, and Frederick took over. He changed many things. In religion, he decided that everybody had the right to believe in his own way. The arts were to be heavily supported. He insisted that the poor people were to be supported by the state. Then, after negotiations with the Queen of Silesia broke down, he marched into Silesia. The first people he encountered were two emissaries of the Protestant Church who begged him to spare their church. The king agreed. This is the story about a diplomatic mayor. When the Prussians wanted to enter Grünberg, they found the gates locked. The Prussian officer demanded the keys and was sent into the mayor's office, where all the officials were assembled. The mayor, who did not want to offend the present administration, yet did not want the Prussians to blast their way in, stated, "I cannot give you the keys. Absolutely not. But here they are, on the table, and if you were to take them yourself, I would not be able to stop you." The Prussian officer laughed and took the keys. Frederick had given very strict orders to his soldiers that they were to behave in a correct manner, and with his charm he wooed the populace.